Morning, everyone. What's going on? It's still morning, actually, and it's 11:30. How's everybody's day going so far? We need to talk about Ronaldo. Obviously, hasn't turned up for pre-season training this morning. The club has accepted his excuse of it being a family-related issue, and I have no evidence to the contrary, so I can't say that that's not the truth. I find the timing very convenient, but it could also be entirely plausible that that's just the case. Anyway, I think this reminded me a little bit of when he was out of the team for the City game, and he just happened to be injured at the same time as well. I had my suspicions that that was the case in that game for the Manchester derby. This one might be entirely legit. But the fact it's coming on the back of a weekend of speculation of Ronaldo wanting out of the club, I find that extremely concerning. I also find it concerning a lot of the range of opinions on this is absolutely vast, and I'll get into it, and we'll talk to people and see what everyone's see what everybody's saying. I saw someone earlier. I'm just going to have to read this comment out early doors because it's bonkers. Where is it? It was just at the start of the stream. Someone said, United will never compete with losing Pogba. And I was like, when did United compete with him being there? Like, what a mad take that is. I'm sure that's a very unique take on it. Well, let's get the timeline of events and what's happened then anyway. So, Ornstein referenced Duncan Castles. If it was just Duncan Castles, I think you could have dismissed this because he hates United and he would love to throw the boot in at any opportunity. But the fact that David Ornstein, who is as tier one as it comes, has basically just referenced him. Romano also referenced him. Here's what he said. Cristiano Ronaldo's told United he wants to leave this summer, as per Duncan Castle reports. He said to love the club but wants to play Champions League and fight for the top honours in the final stage of the career. Doesn't feel likely at United. Napoli are among the suitors. That's a strange one. Romano said, confirmed Ronaldo's to miss return to United training today due to family reasons. Club have accepted the explanation. United are aware of his desire to leave the club but insist their position, not for sale, want to keep him. Ronaldo's agent Mendes will explore options but still no full agreement at any club. Ronaldo told United he wants to leave in the summer as he wants to see more ambition. United still hopeful of keeping CR7 but aware of his desire. Ronaldo has no agreement with another club. Mendes has explored options for weeks and will continue. The fact that he's saying there Mendes has been exploring options for weeks and hasn't managed to find a suitor is interesting. Laurie Whitwell says, George Mendes talks with Chelsea and Bayern felt like part of the game, possibly to apply pressure for United to make signings, and none being confirmed, although I believe Malacia is about to get confirmed. Ronaldo communicating desire to leave is more meaningful. Absence from training seems like another escalation. That's what Laurie said, and I just align entirely with that. And I'll go back over that just in case anyone missed it. So the talk of the Chelsea thing, 2 weeks ago? That to me felt very, very much like playing the game. Like, hurry up and sign someone. I do think there needs to be a little bit of patience here. There's a real lack of patience across the board from everybody here, including Ronaldo. The lack of signings isn't ideal, I'm sure. But it looks like we're definitely working on signings. It's not that we're not working on signings. And I'm also pretty confident we're going to get several through. I don't think we was ever going to sign 5 or 6 or 7 players in one window. But I do think we was going to bring in some signings. The Chelsea link felt like utter bollocks from the start. I wasn't in the slightest bit concerned about that. Bayern Munich, losing Lewandowski, I could see them maybe wanting to bring in Cristiano Ronaldo. It's not their typical sort of signing, but I could understand for, have a bit of a PR tour like that. He'll probably win the league. He'll probably score a shitload of goals. It makes a lot of sense. But this continued sort of pressure and stuff that's been coming this week, there feels like there's some truth to this. And I did a tweet last night where I said, look, nobody's bigger than the club. Stay here and dig in or fuck off. It's exactly what I said in January or whenever it was. If you want to be here, be here. If you don't want to be here, fuck off. The amount of people that are on social media that take that as to be in any way supportive of the Glazers is mind-boggling. And I know it's social media and people will take whatever extreme angle that they want on anything anyone says, but how you can construe that to be in pro-Glazer is honestly beyond me. If Ronaldo doesn't want to be here, literally, the same applies to him as to every other fucking player. The club will go on. No one is bigger than the club. Fuck off. Good player last season for us. Player of the year. If you don't want to be here, mate, fuck off. Simple as that. It would leave us in a bit of a pickle, yeah, because we'd have to replace him. And there's not very many obvious candidates that are going to come in and improve us. But I also don't think he was going to play week in, week out. It makes me take a bit more notice of things like the Tammy Abraham kind of rumours, and people are going to lose their shit if we replace Ronaldo with Tammy Abraham. I'm sure they are. But I could see that happening, in all honesty. I could definitely see that happening. Really could. If he doesn't want to be here, he don't want to fucking be here. Not turning up for pre-season training, interesting one. Like I said, I have to take it on face value that there's nothing untoward going on here, but the timing is definitely curious. Nick says it's not on Ronaldo, it's on the Glazers and their lack of ambition. It's on both. At the end of the day, it's on both. And I know Wayne Rooney did this in 2010, and I agreed with him at the time. It was annoying, and the fact he wanted to go to Manchester City was galling, but he wasn't wrong. But Cristiano signed for us last summer, knowing exactly who our owners are and what's been going on at the club for the last however many years. You know, if he wants to go, he can go. You know, we was only going to get a year or 2 years out of him anyway when he signed last summer. I actually thought it'd only be a year. So I'm not overly arsed. There's tons of players you can get. If you don't want to be here, don't fucking be here. Simple as that. Honestly, simple as that. Emma says, Ten Hag won't accept this type of behaviour even from Ronaldo. No, I don't think he would. Helg on Wheels says, I'd take Tammy Abraham all day. Stu says, love Ronaldo, but leaving when we need him most. All the players that have failed to get in the top four. Yeah, he was part of the team that, you know, he did well, but he was part of a team that failed last season. You can't deny that. And there was performances of his own which needed a little bit of a leg up. I saw the post yesterday, which is some of the stuff that's coming out about what Ten Hag's asking for and asking of the players. And honestly, I can't tell you how much I love it. So, zero tolerance for consistent sideways and backward passing with players who do not pass forward getting subbed off. Love that. Absolutely love that. Players must improve on fitness and unacceptable body language from the previous year. Love that. Attitude is a huge one, and body language and attitude go hand in glove. Cliques in the dressing room are to be dismantled. Love it. Younger players will get their chance to compete for places with senior stars, and training performance will count in selection policy, not wages or medal hauls. Love it. Those little details like that tell me that this guy actually might be the one that's going to get us being competitive again. He has to be given the power to wield whatever he needs, and if that power includes getting rid of Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, all we heard last week or so was that Ronaldo was going to sit down with Ten Hag and talk about their plans. Now, maybe Ten Hag's told him, actually, mate, this is what I see from you, and Ronaldo might not have been happy with what he's heard. And he's like, right, get me out. That's a plausible. That's plausible. The simple dude says, if Ronaldo and Marshall both leave, we'll be in a bad position. Ronaldo and Marshall leaving is just like Ronaldo leaving at the end of the day. What's Tony Marshall doing at the moment? Just too many hangers on. Just fucking get rid. He don't want to be here either. Notch says, I wonder if this is a symptom of players knowing what's going on behind the scenes financially or recruitment-wise and possibly in worse news than we fear. Yes, possibly, I would say. Possible. You know, the players might have been told things that isn't privy with the rest of us. They might have been told things like, they might have been told, yeah, it's Malacia, Martinez, De Jong, and then that's your fucking lot, 3 players. And they've gone, mate, what the fuck? A couple of people in the chat saying, what's Rio said? Rio said nothing. You know, this news has been up and down our group chat all week and he said nothing. So I don't know if that means he knows nothing or if he's got no opinion on anything that's going on here. So I don't know. He's said nothing. Craig says the whole circus just shows he was the wrong signing from the start. So what, he scored 20 goals in a season. Several of his goals were the same in the same game. So there were plenty of games he nilled. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that. He was one of our better players last year. If we didn't have him, we'd be in the shit. That's hella revisionism. That's big revisionism, that is. So I think there was an opportunity to bring him in. There was some fucked up circumstances for how everything was going last summer. We brought him in, but ultimately it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Maybe not even. Maybe it was a Woodward thing. Woodward, Solskjaer, whoever, brought him in last year. And then, there's now a whole new management structure and a new manager in place with a new philosophy and a new system. And that's probably going to be a big indication of some things that's going to happen going forward. Tom says, when does panic mode start, or are we just falling to the media circus? I would like signings done prior to us going on pre-season tour, which is that Friday we leave. Let me just check my calendar. I think it's Friday we go. Yeah, Friday they leave for pre-season. So you would hope to have had signings completed by pre-season. Otherwise, I don't know if it's panic mode, but it's less than ideal mode, isn't it? I mean, it's panic mode if it gets to like the last week of the transfer window and you're like, right, well, here's what's going on. Adav says it's the same theory when you see a group of girls and one of them looks really good because the group is so bad. Same with Ronaldo. He did show class in some games, but it's more that we need. Maybe. The Samoan says, you are all F plastic fans. Without Ronaldo, we were 12th place. Well, someone else would have played. It was a good signing, but ultimately it doesn't mean that he gets to dictate to the fucking club just because he got us to 6th. Shaf Olin says, maybe it's something to do with Ronaldo having a couple of years left at best. We haven't signed anyone, haven't made any progress, better in the squad. Why now, though? Why wasn't this addressed at the end of the season? Surely Ronaldo could have been like, do you know what? This didn't work out how I thought it was going to do. Sin a bit. Why leave it so late? No, I'm not having that. To be honest, I'm not having that. Loads of people in the comments talking about Belotti. I'm sure the club will explore the options. We'll see how it goes down. 3M says, Ronaldo is my favourite all-time player, but if he wants to go, then get rid of him. Putting a big offer for João Felix. That's a fucking random one, isn't it? Phil John says, absolutely, he's a legend, but one player, and why now? Bad timing. Yep. Justin Slar says, are you for real? You're defending Glazer scum over Ronaldo. Ronaldo is 100% right. Who the fuck has defended the Glazers? You literally just invented that in your fucking tiny little mind and decided that that was what's just happened. Fuck me, honestly. Also, what's Ronaldo said apart from, I want to go? Supposedly. That's it. He hasn't gone sign X or I'm gone. He's just gone, I'm fucking gone. Brian says, Malacia completing his medical today. Yeah, so there's one done. All right. The Blaster says, in my opinion, oh no, not in my opinion. Richard says, basically most likely being lied to about the transfer budget, and he's pissed off about who's coming in. That's possible, I guess. Yeah, I'm sure it's possible. I'm sure it's possible that that's the case. And I'm sure Ronaldo probably gets talked to and given more information about the goings on because he is a senior player. But at the end of the day, he needs to show as much commitment as everybody else. Just because he's a fucking good player and has had a good career doesn't mean that he gets to dictate to what's going on at the club. That's it. Manager's got to be the one in charge. And the manager either tells him what he's going to be, and that's that one. Yeah, ultimately, if he wants to fucking go, he's left us once before. He can tell us he loves the club all this fucking time, but he's tried to leave more times than he's tried to fucking stay. Am I gutted that we missed out on Gabriel Jesus? No. He was the worst striker in Manchester. SK says he wants Champions League football. That's not even related to us signing players. Okay, so when this was obvious that we weren't fucking getting Champions League football back in May, why was this not brought up then? Wasn't, was it? Russell says, hi Steve, funny how y'all tried to kick out Marshall. He's literally our only hope. Well, if he's our only hope, we've no hope. Josh says, just turned a positive start to a negative. Ronnie out ASAP. Again, attitude, massive. Donny says, Ronaldo obviously is a move lined up to be doing this. Question whether it's Chelsea or Bayern. I'd be amazed if it was Chelsea, in all honesty. I would be amazed if it was Chelsea. However, it fits because they do need a striker and he would fit that system, I think, with players running off him. It could actually work. But yeah, I mean, this is a player that probably should have been in line to be the captain of us this season. This isn't how you want your fucking captain acting the week that you leave for pre-season tour, is it? Just fucking frustrating. Toby says, no player bigger than the club. Might as well support Mbappe and PSG. Some of our fans never cease to amaze me. Agree. Malacia was joining Leon and cost them how much better than Shaw can he be? And tell us how much better than Shaw and tell us. It's interesting that we've got £50 million worth of defenders and we're bringing one for 13 and he could be better than all of them. Eon says, noticed yesterday was saying the United squad actually isn't that bad. Seems like you're falling in line with the Glazer ethos recently. When did I say the United squad's not that bad? And it's also Glazer, not Galzer, you fucking idiot. At the end of the day, the United squad is bad. The United squad, what the fuck are you on about? What I was tweeting about on Saturday, I can't tell anyone yet. But you'll see soon. You will see soon. Vazzy says, do I think he will go or stay? I think he's going to go, in all honesty. I actually think he is going to go. I think it'll accelerate our need for a striker. It's probably fucking... It's probably a massive fucking issue now to getting a striker. Massive issue to getting a striker. Because whatever transfer budget we had, you might get 20 million-ish for Ronaldo. Maybe. I don't know. You're getting a nominal fee for him. You're not getting any real sort of cash. So whatever you get for Ronaldo now is negligible. To bring in a striker that's going to score you 20 goals, even a pretty fucking normalish one. Starters, I'm not sure if you're going to get a superstar. You're going to have to gamble on someone with a little bit of potential. They're 50 million. I don't think you could get one for 40 that's worth a wank. Lee says, should we be optimistic? That what I was tweeting about. Yes, I would be. If it comes off, I would be very optimistic. Lambert says, throw the academy lads in, get Martinez and De Jong, and the rest of the budget on a forward. At the start of the season, they said something like, we only got 20 million in terms of a budget. That's fucking pretty much gone with Malacia. Jimmy says, Big Ron's team were better than this lot and they were on the piss 6 nights a week. They was on the piss 3 nights a week. They went on the piss on a Saturday after the game and then they did Tuesday and Wednesday nights on the piss. Big Ron's team did go on the piss, but they were competing against other teams that were also on the piss. Therefore, it's like the Tour de France in a reverse kind of way. Everyone was on fucking performance-enhancing drugs in the Tour de France, so just because Lance Armstrong was the one winning it all doesn't make him any worse than the ones that were coming 16th, because they was on the fucking juice and all. It's the same with... it's exactly the same with football in the 80s. Yes, they were on the piss, but so was the opposition. Liverpool team was on the piss. The drinking culture at United was mirrored at Liverpool. It was just that, they were better overall at being able to drink and then win games. Dave said, anyone else in the squad that could play as a false 9 if you can't get a striker in this window? You could move, if you were going to play 4-3-3, you might try Bruno as a false 9 because he likes to think he's a 9 anyway. Put Donny in the 10 and pattern the midfield out a little bit more, hold more possession that way. You could do that. People say Mason Greenwood is a striker. At the moment, Mason Greenwood's not a footballer for the club, so I don't think you can comment on that one as it stands. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Russell says, Rashford and Marshall aren't crapsty. Stop it. That's just toxic. Who said anything about Rashford? Talk says there must be some mention of this from Ronaldo at the end of the season. Surely it's quite clear that the conversations have not been met. Yeah, I would think so. But like I said, we knew we weren't getting the Champions League 2 months ago. So why is this only breaking now? If he's just gone, I've got to be in the Champions League. All right, well, we thought that March, April onwards. So what's changed, man? Tom says, why does the De Jong deal have Ramos vibes? Worried that we're being played. Different. Barcelona need to sell. The Polish wonder said I'd be fine with Ivan Toney or Calvert-Lewin. You might have to be honest, because I don't think you're going to be getting in the mix. I don't think you're going to be getting anybody else. Certainly not a top-tier forward. You see City have just brought in Haaland. We're not going to bring anything in like that at all. Seb says Ten Hag likes a big centre forward. Look at Haller. Cristiano Ronaldo would be good for him. When you know that he plays such a very high tempo sort of pressing game, you go, not going to suit a 37, 38-year-old Ronaldo. But when you watch him, and, obviously we watched a shitload of him. You see the sort of positions Haller takes up, and you look at Ronaldo, you go, do you know what? Actually, I think this might work. What Haller does often is he'll mark and screen. He doesn't run around. He's not. When you think of pressing, do you guys think of Tevez just fucking herring at people and Rooney just fucking chasing people down? It's not the only way to press. It's not the only way to cover off positions. And the way Haller sort of does it under Ten Hag at Ajax, he's cutting off passing lanes, and he's marking one player in particular out of the game, and it's quite energy efficient in the way he does it. And I think Ronaldo could comfortably take the same sort of role that Haller has done. Steve, would I take Yusuf Poulsen, says Toby. Yeah, probably for this system. A couple of people at the same time have just said, watch us try and get Neymar. Wouldn't shock me, in all honesty. Someone's just mentioned Mitrovic. That's going to get laughed at because he's not seen as a Champions League level world-class footballer, but in terms of someone that can play the system, it honestly is not the worst thing. What beard oil do I use? Tears of the Virgins on social media. BM says Charlie McNeil. I think it's a bit soon for him. He's probably going to get an opportunity on tour if he goes on tour. But yeah, I mean, like, there's so many strikers we've covered already that you can definitely get them, but I don't believe we have the budget for a big one. I honestly think we'd be looking at 40-ish million. Does that get you Tammy Abraham? In my head it should, but it probably doesn't. They're probably looking like 50, 60 after the season they had last year. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. We've got shitload of content coming out this week. And then obviously next week, like this time next week, we've got like match day content coming out, looking ahead to how we might be lining up on some of those first pre-season games. So make sure to subscribe if you've not already. We should have the highlights of the #United game coming out later on today, so stick around for that. Paddock played # at the weekend, #reserves, let's be fair. We beat them 2-1. It was a good game. I wasn't there, I was at a wedding. But we've got the highlights of that game coming out later. And if you want to get involved with the club, you can still become a founder member right the way up until New Year's Eve, but you're struggling to get a low number. We did pass 1,000 members last week in just 3 weeks. There's some very, very exciting stuff going on the cards that I'm going to be telling the members about very soon. So if you want to get involved, become a founder and member of the club, just Google fan ownership Stretford Paddock, and it'll be the first link that you find. Go check it out. Come and get involved. Have your say in literally running a football club. The app's chill about the app. You'll get told when the app is coming. It's in the hands of developers and Apple, and those are things outside of my control. So get in the mixer. If you want to come and run a football club that's ambitious and going to be doing bits, fan ownership, Stretford Paddock, come and find it, and we'll get you in the mixer. But until then, Stay tuned. Keep it locked for the highlights to come drop later. And I'll see you in the next one. Laters.